It's been nearly a year since Orlando police officer Kevin Valencia was shot in the line of duty. It was June 10th. He was responding to a domestic violence call when he was injured, leaving him in a coma. Since then, the Central Florida community has stepped up to support Officer Valencia's wife, Megan, and their children. #ValenciaStrong.
And we're so honored to once again be joined by Megan Valencia this morning. Great to see you as
Megan.
always. You look beautiful.
You do. Absolutely beautiful.
So if you would first give us an update. A lot of folks may not know that Kevin has since moved from Atlanta here to Orlando. How is he doing?
He was doing actually really great. Unfortunately, we had a setback last week. He had 2 strokes. So I'm happy to say, though, in the light of that, he's still doing really well. He's still responding, some. So, it's an unfortunate sort of thing that kind of comes with a traumatic brain injury. But, we're hoping for the best still.
When you say responding some, what types of things is he doing that lets you know that he's still with you?
So he'll still give thumbs up and stuff like that. He'll move his hands. He recently tried kissing me. So it was really exciting. So he'll like pucker his lips when I go to kiss him, which is very different. And he normally kind of has an open mouth stance. But he closes his mouth specifically to kiss me. So it's really awesome.
That is so sweet.
Yeah.
So those little things must mean a lot, because I know that he had been away in Atlanta and then, he'd come back here home to Central Florida. How important is it to have him close to you?
It helps a lot just for my sanity, honestly. But it's really awesome to have him sort of back with us. He gets visited all the time by all of his coworkers and his friends, and we have a lot of family, now that he's not in Atlanta, we have family in Miami that can come up and visit him, and it's just so important for him.
And how are the kids doing?
So my 1.5-year-old is really funny because he just loves to go and sort of take everything off of Kevin whenever we go to see him. All the different wires, bracelets, and stuff like that. He's like trying to get everything. It's really funny to see. And Kevin will try and slowly move his arm away.
Don't take that off of me, kid. I need that.
But again, that responsiveness is so good.
It's a lot of his therapists have said that they've seen him sort of try and emerge out of this coma, which is exactly what you want to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us about the hashtag Valencia Strong.
So hashtag Valencia Strong is sort of something that actually one of the officers came up with. They said that it was just the fact that I was so strong throughout this process, and that Kevin was one of the strongest guys that they knew. And they were like, Valencia is basically where it's at, If you're strong, you got to be Valencia strong.
One of the things that a lot of people may not realize about Kevin, most people associate him with this one incident that happened, but he was quite the hero before this ever happened. Tell the folks at home some of the stories of other things he'd done that he won accolades for.
Yeah, so this is Kevin actually has 3 life-saving awards. One of the biggest award, I think, just shows his character and just responsiveness as an officer. It was probably 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and a drunk driver he saw was driving erratically, and he saw a van sort of next to him. He sort of pulled out, put himself in between the van, and then that drunk driver, who was 3 times over the legal limit, totaled his police car. And it turns out that in that van were 3 little kids. I think the youngest was like 3 months.
Really?
And nothing happened to them, but that car was headed straight for them, and he didn't even think, just this guy there.
I always find it interesting how I think certain people are attracted to certain people, because we talk so much about what you mentioned, how strong and brave Kevin has been. But we always talk about, remember when we talked to you the first time, we talked afterwards about how strong and brave you are. And I think that's just a testament to you and to what you also are bringing to this situation. How are you getting through it? How are you feeling today?
Tell you when I figure it out.
Yeah.
But
I'm
do
sure
you
it's a
talk
day
to
by
someone?
day.
Do you go see somebody to sort of talk you through what you've been through?
Unfortunately, my kids go to therapy. I don't go to therapy right now. I think for me, it's sort of that stepping stone to be like, I'm just not ready to go there. You know, when I have my little crying moments, I have my niece who was actually my best friend. She was the one that introduced Kevin and I. But I call her and I'm just like 911, and she'll talk on the phone with me. You know, I have a really loving and supportive family, so you know, they're always there.
I think you hit the nail on the head. You have to be ready to go, and mentally you have to be ready to face that and ready to go. One of the other things that's been so wonderful about what this community is doing, they have rallied around you and Kevin, my friend. This concert with Pitbull is going to be amazing. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So Dan Newlin actually contacted me, and he had said that he read, I guess, somewhere, it was a very small excerpt about, you know, what happened with Kevin and just a small update, and it was, he goes, it's just crazy because it was such a huge headline and now all of a sudden it's this little small thing. He goes, we can't forget Kevin. We can't forget everything that he's done for this community, not just, you know, like you said, not just this scenario, but everything he's done in his police career. And he was like, can I do something for you? And I was like, yeah, okay, you know, and I was just expecting something small, like maybe he could help me with, you know, contacts that he's got, you know, about everything. And the next thing I know, he's like, surprise! And the People concert. It's like, whoa.
Isn't that crazy?
So, Megan, tell the folks at home, because the concert is free, so how does this work? How will the money go to help you guys with your expenses?
I'm not entirely sure how everything's sort of turning with that. I know that the concert is free. I know it's mainly just to honor Kevin. I think at some point they might put up the GoFundMe page.
Right, okay.
But I think it's just...
Or maybe donations at the concert, which would be nice, so, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the bottom line is the community has not forgotten.
Yes.
Although it may sometimes feel that way.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
We all are rooting for you, and we keep you in our prayers, and our thoughts, and the community does as well, because you're so wonderful.
Oh, thank you so
absolutely.
much, Megan.
Thank you for being
here. We just love you.
We
Thanks
do.
for being with us this
Thank
morning.
you.
Thank you. The best.